Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies, featuring the Cooking with Deadpool cookbook. Good thing I'm in the mood for fish this weekend, because this weekend we're making the entree, not the only fish in the sea. First up, let's tell the story. I've had a lot of romances over the years. Vanessa, Siren, Outlaw, Shikla, your mom. Deadpool's words, not mine. I even had a thing for Death herself for a while, and even though I'm back to being a bachelor these days, I still pay tribute to my lady loves every now and then by cooking up their favorite meal. Lighting some candles, and dressing a mannequin in some of their spare clothes I never bothered to return. Creepy. My words, not Deadpool's. Back in that hot minute I was attempting to woo Rogue, I tried to impress her by whipping up some authentic down-home southern vittles, like this here catfish dish. Our fling was short-lived, but thanks to this recipe, the memory lives on, which, when it comes to Rogue, is pretty rare. Let's keep it that way, shall we, Deadpool? Anyway, the ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's head in that direction. As you can probably see by the three groups of ingredients, we have a three-part recipe here. First, for the marinade, we need 2 cups of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons of Old Bay or other seafood seasoning. As you can see, I'm using Old Bay, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 2 pounds of catfish or tilapia fillets halved. I'm using tilapia. For the dredge, we need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a cup of yellow cornmeal, 3/4 of a teaspoon each of black pepper, paprika, and back to the cayenne pepper once again, and another 1.5 teaspoons of the Old Bay seasoning. Then for frying, we need 2 quarts of some kind of oil, such as peanut or canola, for frying. As you can see, I'm using veggie. Salt and pepper, fresh black pepper, lemon wedges and tartar sauce for serving, neither of which I'm using, and look at them puppies for serving. I'm also not making those. With that, let's move into the kitchen and start putting this recipe together. We're going to start with a container that's got a cover of some kind. I got the lid off shot. To make the marinade first, we're going to start off by combining the ingredients in a container that can hold the fillets. So we're going to start off with the buttermilk. This should be this is usually about 2 cups. Okay. You can pour that off, or we can throw that away. The 2 teaspoons of the Old Bay seasoning. The 2 teaspoons can head for the dishes. The Old Bay is going back to the table because we'll need that again. What quantity? Okay. Then 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Both the cayenne and the 1/2 teaspoon are heading back to the table because we'll need those again. Then I'll grab a wooden spoon out so I can mix all of this up. Okay. Actually grab a spatula out, see if we can scrape some of this back in. Okay. I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get with it. So the wooden spoon can head to the dishes as well. Then we're going to take the fish, drop it in the marinade. We're probably not going to be able to quite submerge it, but we should be able to manage. We might be able to. Let's see if we can get most of it at least submerged. Okay. Actually, that's working pretty well. So I'll give my hands a quick wash. Wipe that off. The plate that the fish was on can hit the bin as well. Then we'll cover the fish. I believe refrigerate them. Cover. We'll put them in the fridge, and I'll set a timer to marinate these for half an hour to an hour. Just trying to find somewhere. Okay, that worked nicely. And we'll set a timer for. Don't give me that, Siri. We'll set a timer for about an hour. Then we'll come back. Actually, we're going to come back probably in about, I would say, about 35 minutes. At that point, we'll make the dredge. The fish is still marinating in the refrigerator, and we've got about another 20 minutes left on that. In the meantime, we're going to make the dredge. So we're going to start off with our 1.5 cups of flour, which of course that's not going to fit in there, so we're going to have to pour this out. Make sure that's flowing freely. That's not going to hold. Okay. Oh, easy does it. Let's do that. Okay. A little bit of a nope, that's actually probably about where I want to be. That's probably about 1.5 cups of flour. Fortunately, I was using the 1.5 cup measuring cup. Which makes life easy on that front. Ah, crap. Knocking over some of the Old Bay seasoning. That was the only place I had for it, but try to get some of this. Actually, I think we can drop that in. We will need more of that in a minute, though. Try to keep my hands nice and clean. Next order of business is a cup of cornmeal. So I've got right here. I'll probably need a little more. Yep, just a little more. This can hit the bin. Where is the perforation? Here it is. No. No. I thought there was a perforation. But either way, we got the wrapping off. Okay. Pour in a little more, not too much though. Okay. I don't think I need the cup again, I don't. Oop. That canister needs to be up one more level. Then 3/4 teaspoon each of regular pepper, cayenne pepper, and paprika. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. The pepper was not wanting to cooperate with me there. 1, 2, come on. 2, and 3. And the cayenne pepper. 1, 2, 3. This can all go back up. And the last thing we need here is another 1.5 teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning. This is going to be a little bit more than 1.5 teaspoons because I had some residue I had to clean up earlier. 2 and 3. That can go toward the dishes. The Old Bay seasoning can go back up. And we'll mix this up. Okay. Okay, it looks like we are pretty much all good here. Definitely getting a whiff of that. I'll see if I can pat that down a little bit so it's nice and flat. Okay. All right, wash my hands off. And then we're going to move over to the stove with an ever familiar sight. Our familiar sight is over at the stove. The stock pot plus temperature probe equals heating up oil. Once again, our temperature target is 365. We're at 343 and climbing, but while we wait, we're going to start getting the first batch of fish ready. So, while the oil's heating up, I'm going to take the fish out of the marinade. I'm going to do this off shot. Let the excess liquid drip off. Maybe shake it a little bit. Then I'm going to stick it in the dredge and make sure to get each side coated. Okay. Trying to keep an eye on the temperature while I do this on the oil. I'm going to need to wash my hands off so I can start putting the fish in the oil. Actually, I'm going to need to get the temperature probe out as well. Which I think at 360, now I'm going to get my hands clean so I can get the probe out. Bring the garbage can in closer to me. Should be coming up any second now, so if you're wearing headphones, whoop, there it is. Normally I try to give like a 30-second warning of when the oil is about to get to temperature, but I wasn't able to do it this time. Whoa, that is a bad idea. I set it down on top of the plastic container lid that I was using to marinate the fish in. Bad idea. Anyway, now we can drop the fish in the oil, preferably without splashing myself on the oil. Then we're going to get the next batch of fish ready while that's frying, and we're looking for that to be a golden brown crust, but still flaky and moist. Meanwhile, I'm getting the next batch of fish ready off shot. And probably fry these in batches of about 5 or 6 pieces. Come on. Okay. I think we can go one or two more pieces. Take a quick look at our first batch of fish. Oh, wow. Looks like that's actually starting to come out pretty well. So, I'm going to bring the plate over. And we should be able to start scooping this out. Of course, I've got a paper towel lined plate here that I'm going to be scooping these onto. Easy does it. All right. I'll get the next batch started. Once again, without splashing myself on it. Then I'll turn once I wash up my hands, with my hands all clean now, I'm going to turn the camera off to fry the rest of this, and then we'll come back to take our first look at the finished product. Here's our first look at the finished product. Everything looks great here, but the only way to find out if it tastes good is for me to plate some of this and then meet you guys over at my desk for the taste test, so what say we do that? Seeing as the fish is supposed to be dinner tonight, I really hope this turns out. So, let's find out what I think of this. This is actually a pretty decent sized piece. I'm going to cut it down a bit. I'm hoping the cayenne, there's a fair amount of cayenne in here. I'm hoping it doesn't overpower me, but let's find out. It actually is pretty good. I was worried about actually there's not really that much cayenne pepper in here, so I guess it wasn't going to overpower me anyway. Maybe a little bit on the bland side, but that's kind of the nature of the beast with tilapia. Maybe I was expecting it to fry up a little more, and be a little more bready. But that is another episode of Mystical Munchies in the books. Next week we're making the last recipe for the month as we're making the dessert chimney. As for the game videos, tomorrow the winter campaign in Arkham Horror, the card game, is continuing with the third scenario, In Too Deep. Wednesday we're stepping back into our background playthrough of Mag 23 Guadalcanal from Historic Wings. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.